Ulrich Roux joins us now on the line. Ulrich, thanks very much for your time. Just on the face of it, I'm not sure whether you've had in this short space of time a chance to really study the judgment so far, but on the face of it, what was the court's basis for ruling in Patricia de Lille's favour?
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me. Well, I think that the court applied a very narrow and a very technical stance towards this application. They followed the guidelines and the rules as provided for in the FLC of the DA, and I think ultimately, the quick glance that I've had of the judgment, it is a correct judgment. It is sound in terms of the DA's own rules and regulations. So I've seen that the DA has come out now and said that they want to appeal the matter, the finding, and that the ruling was of a very technical and narrow nature. But unfortunately, you know, if their rules and regulations provide the guidelines pertaining to the appointment of members and the removal of membership, then that is what they are bound by. And I don't think that there really is much scope for a different ruling to have been made.
Yeah. Ulrich, you touched on that very issue now, the grounds for appeal that the DA might now follow, according to Natasha Mazzoni at least, is the issue of this decision being made around a technicality. And as you say, the basis of the ruling is a very narrow one.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I mean, the DA party is obviously governed by their own internal rules and regulations. So now a judgment has been handed down in accordance with the interpretation of those rules and regulations, and now they want to appeal it. So, you know, they are going to have to think very carefully whether they want more attention drawn to this issue and whether they shouldn't rather try and attempt to mediate this issue and try and reach an alternative dispute resolution with Patricia de Lille, because the party certainly is suffering greatly as a result of this, and it's very bad publicity for the party. And if they do now appeal it, then effectively they are saying that their own rules and regulations are not up to standard and must be reviewed and must be, possibly amended and changed. And that also is not going to have a good effect on the party. So I would think very carefully if I was them before I did appeal this decision. Just quickly, the appeal process would obviously be, this was a judgment handed down by the High Court, so it could possibly be an appeal then to the Supreme Court of Appeal and then ultimately to the Constitutional Court.
So, Ulrich, it is also interesting to note that this judgment was unanimous, made by a full bench of the High Court. Just as a lawyer, what it takes, the amount of sort of manpower it takes to launch a case like this, to then follow up with an appeal in an election year, surely that is energy that could be energy and manpower and people power that could be better spent.
Yes, certainly. And I mean, to my knowledge, they have a senior counsel as well as junior counsel on the matter. The application, would have taken a lot of time and effort and money. And I think it's a fair comment to, say, shouldn't that energy and time and money be rather be spent somewhere else and applied towards the actual election campaign and put to better use. Taking this matter on appeal will again take a lot of manpower and will take a lot of legal costs being incurred. And it's definitely a decision that they're going to have to make and weigh up, what are the pros and what are the cons that they're faced with.
Yeah.
The party and the party's reputation is suffering, and they need to, in my opinion, find a different way to reach an agreement and a possible settlement with Patricia de Lille.
All right, well, thanks very much for weighing in on this discussion. Our legal expert, Ulrich Roux, just giving us the legal perspective on this decision by the Western Cape High Court, a full bench of the High Court coming to this unanimous decision that means that Patricia de Lille is still a member of the party. De Lille also winning costs in that matter.